We live? Yes. Good day, everyone. Welcome to another segment of our Freight Fridays. As you saw on our social platforms, that we were advertising licensing and permits. So now we're going in depth about better explanation of the industry of freight forwarding. In each and every industry, there's due diligence that needs to be followed. As also in this industry, the licensing and payments allows you to trade in the freight forwarding and clearing industry. So now, first and foremost, as an introduction for licensing and permit, there's certain things that you need to understand that needs to be done before you even think about importing or exporting goods into the country. Firstly, the licensing. If you're in contact now with your forwarder, you're in contact now with your supplier, you're in contact now with your manufacturing hub or your manufacturing company which is abroad. The first thing that you need to do here in South Africa is you need to approach the Customs and Excise Office and get a form which is called DA-185. Now, DA-185 has many annexures. In these annexures, you will have your 5A, which speaks about exporting and importing. So in DA-185, you obviously have to have your supporting documents, what will be your CK, your sales clearance, your proof of residency, your certificates, obviously, that solidifies your business. Then with that DA-185, you need to submit it, as everything now is online. You submit it to the email that on the sales website is being offered as an email where you should email to, and then it normally takes 5 to 10 working days to get an approval or rejection, depending on the reasons that customs will reply on that. But for more information, you can go on sales.gov.za to get more information about that. So most important about importing the goods from your manufacturer, I'll make an example of tires. Tires in South Africa are a Schedule 4 entity. So you need a permit to import those tires. So you need to now know the offices that you need to approach. You've already approached the Customs and Excise Office. Now, in terms of the tires, you need to now start engaging with your NRCS office, and you need to now start engaging with the ITEC permit office. So now all these offices will allow you to now import your goods into the country smoothly, provided you have done those due diligence and your certificates are in place and your permits are in place. So just to be in detail about ITEC, because ITEC is the one that normally is the wall in which it decides whether or not you get the permit of the goods that you wanna import. ITEC is International Trade Administration Committee. So this committee is an office that deals primarily with accepting or declining the permit. When your permit has been rejected, a detailed message or a detailed response will be put back to you that will allow you to know what is the next step for you to do to get the permit. Bear in mind, all these due diligence take a bit of time. That is why it's very important that you need to allocate yourself adequate time in order to expedite this process, that it does not hinder your goods when it has landed into the country. Because remember, the forwarder as the exporter and the receiver as the consignee in South Africa, when they are in contact with each other to resolve or to conclude the facilitation of the documentation of the product that you have imported, it will be determined if your certifications and your permits are in place. Otherwise, you're going to have problems, such as what? you're gonna experience a lot of storage charges. There are ground handlers in South Africa for each and every airline and for each and every sea freight hub, like I've explained in my previous videos. If you don't know about that, you should go to my air freight and sea freight videos so that you can find out more about the ground handlers. So these handlers will store the goods for you. And once your certification and all documents are now in place, depending how long that will take, 5 to 10 working days, or in some instances, if your documentation is not in line, it may take longer. You are now going to experience, which is what we call storage charges. You will now have to now pay extra charges, external from the value of the shipment that you've paid from your forwarder, external from the funds that you will be paying your clearing agent, who will be clearing the commodity for you. So why are we explaining this for you? Everyone knows documentation takes time. So it is very vital that you prepare your documentation before you even import any goods into the country, so that everything can go smoothly. Now guys, there are certain goods that I'll just explain to you or just tell you that need permits, so that you know that if you are in this industry or you are thinking of importing these goods, understand that a permit will be required, or your goods will be stored longer than it should, and you will be now being forced to pay additional charges, which won't make your business very viable. 1. Radioactive and chemical elements. NRCS will determine your permits for this. New tires, like I've said before. Chemicals listed in the 1998 convention. Fossil fuels, arms and ammunitions. We know how dangerous arms are. So the government has to make sure that things that are coming in the country are in line with the laws and bylaws of the country. Gambling devices, used or second-hand goods. It is very important that you understand, if one of your goods or you are in one of these industries, you need a permit. Otherwise, you're going to pay too much charges. Now, the last but not the least certificate is what we call the SADC certificate, SAD certificate. This certificate is very good, guys. Like I've said, my central point of these goods is I'm looking at things on a South African point going into the world, and most importantly, going into Africa. So now the SADC certificate is a treaty which was done by the southern countries that gives a relief to all the countries in the southern region that want to trade amongst each other. Why is the SADC certificate so important? If you've got a SADC certificate or SADC permit, you will pay little or to no duty on each and every good that travels in the SADC region. But like I said previously, you need to do the certification on time. If you do not do that, the ground handlers and the hub will pay you storage. Now, before I conclude, I'd like to open the floor for questions. I see there's already a question on Instagram. Yeah, like I said, the lady is asking how long does it take to apply for a license or permit, depending on offices, but the turnaround time is normally 5 to 10 working days. If all your documents are correct, if there would be no rejection. Everybody knows the 3 months, rule, and the certifying rules with the police. All those things also apply into the customs and exercise offices. So always make sure that your goods are in line with the policies and the laws of the country. Now, in conclusion, I'd like to say compliments to the new year. We hope this is going to be a blessed year. Follow us. We're going to start on Mondays to do our motivation Mondays. And we're also now going to have some giveaways, some competition in order to encourage more people to be in industries, or for more people to now engage with the with the economic sector. Now, for the next feature of our freight fighters, just look out on our pages. When will our next feature be? And any more questions that are there on our pages, you can just comment, like our page, and we'll be glad to answer your questions. Have a blessed Friday, and hope to see you on Monday, and hope to see you on our next Freight Fighters. We out.